Hello! So, you want to know how to play Drinks and Daggers. Great news, I'm going to teach you how to play right now. Drinks and Daggers is a co-op card game with optional drinking rules. 2 to 6 players play as heroes trying to defeat an evil villain. Each hero has their own unique deck of cards with items, actions, reactions. Each boss has a unique deck with attacks and sometimes minions. If this is your first time playing, you will need to assemble the health dials. If you look at the punch board, you will see that each of the dial holes has a ladder. You use the included plastic rivets to connect A to A, B to B, and so on. I'm going to do one right now really quick. So just pop them out, pop out the middle bits, and then put the rivet through. Like so. And put it on top. And you have a functioning health dial. You should be able to see the numbers clearly through the little hole here. To set up your game, first choose a boss to face. In this case, we're going to choose Pyre. We'll stick to playing standard for now, but if you want more of a challenge, you can flip Pyre's card over and do hard mode. Pyre's card states that he begins the game with an Acolyte active. So search through the deck, set out the Acolyte, assign him some health, and then shuffle Pyre's deck. So let's see, here's an Acolyte. Let's move this over. So you've got Pyre, you've got an Acolyte, you give him some health, and then you shuffle the deck, and you're good to go. Each player now selects a hero deck. They all play differently and synergize in unique ways with other heroes, so make sure you try them all out. I'm going to pick Roz and Lonnie. Your hero starts on their ready side. You set their health tracker to the starting health, which can be found here. You'll notice that Lonnie has 6 health and Roz has 10 health. If your hero's health is reduced to 0 or lower, you flip your card over and you are now smashed. Additional damage does not carry over, so if you have 1 health and take 10 damage, you just flip your card over and ignore the remaining 9 damage. Once your character is smashed, they will remain smashed for the rest of the game. There are no limits on health, so your character can gain more hit points than their starting total. But again, if they're smashed and gain hit points above their starting total, they do not become unsmashed. If you're smashed and you are reduced to 0 health, you are now down. Your turn immediately ends, you don't take turns, damage, or drinks, and you can't play or discard cards. But if another hero can heal you, then you're back in the game. The other thing to note on your hero card is your hero power. You will have many opportunities to give other players drinks. When you do, you also get to use your hero power. For Roz, she can discard the top card of the boss deck. You will notice that all of the hero's powers become more powerful when they are smashed. The next step is to shuffle your deck. And deal yourself 4 cards. This is a co-op game, so feel free to let the other players know what cards you have, and strategizing together is encouraged. There are 3 types of player cards. There are action cards, reaction cards, and each player has a powerful item. Lonnie's item is her ferret wine. That's all you need to do to set up. So let's run through a round really quick. These player aid cards should help you while learning the game. Step 1 is to resolve anything listed as start of turn. That's pretty rare, but Lucan's Wiggins card is an example of this. Step 2 is to draw a card from the boss deck. We drew Tail Sweep. At this point, you may be able to play a reaction card. Anytime the requirements are met, you are able to play a reaction card. You can play multiple reactions each turn, but you can't play multiple reactions to a single card. For instance, if Pyre is going to do 4 damage, Roz can't play 2 dodge cards to reduce the damage twice. On the other hand, you can absolutely chain reactions together and get up to all sorts of hijinks. The next step is the player's turn. You can now play one action, one item, or take a basic action. If you don't have any good cards to play, you may want to take a basic action. You can either deal an enemy 1 damage or give a hero 1 health. It's stated right here on the bottom of the player aid. We are going to play Backstab. When a minion is present, like this acolyte, you can't directly attack the boss. If we were to use Whirling Blades instead, it would attack all enemies, so you would hit both the minion and the boss. Other players can still use reaction cards based on the card you play. For example, if you make another player take a drink, they can play a reaction card off of that. At this point, you may choose to discard 1 card. If you have fewer cards than your hand size, you may now draw back up to your hand size. There are no limits on how many cards you can have, so if you happen to have more cards than your hand size, then you don't need to discard down. Also note that several of the players have items which increase their hand size beyond 4. If you end up running out of cards in your deck at any time, just refresh your deck by shuffling your discard pile. You will lose the game if all the heroes are down, or if the boss needs to draw a card but has no cards left. You win the game if you reduce the boss's hit points to 0. And that's it. If you have any questions about rules or otherwise, feel free to email us at drinksanddaggers@gmail.com or message us on Twitter at drinksndaggers. Thank you.